Health officials say it's nearly impossible to tell the difference between COVID and other respiratory illnesses right now. Plus, allergy symptoms can mirror COVID symptoms. So Fox 12's Audrey WEIL found out the steps that you should take if you're not feeling well.
Earlier on in the pandemic, there were some obvious symptoms just for COVID, like loss of taste or smell. But since the latest variants don't cause that, it's nearly impossible to differentiate COVID from other respiratory illnesses. And that's why one of the most important components here is COVID testing.
As we take our masks off and interact more, it's no wonder we see more COVID cases, plus other viral respiratory illnesses like colds and a late season rise in the flu. Plus, it's a high allergy season.
So all of these things can cause very, very similar symptoms, especially this new strain of COVID seems to cause fairly mild disease. It's really hard to differentiate it from other things.
Clackamas County Health Officer Dr. Sarah Present walks us through what to do if you're not feeling well. Step 1, determine your symptoms.
If you have fevers, if you have body aches, if you have GI complaints like nausea and vomiting, that's probably some sort of viral illness. Allergies don't tend to cause those sorts of things.
Step 2, if it does seem to be a viral illness, assume it's COVID, because Dr. Present says that's still more infectious than any of the colds or flus going around right now.
Assume you have COVID until you're pretty sure that you don't.
Step 3, take a COVID test. And if it's negative, take another one in a day or two to be sure.
Then if you have negative COVID tests, you have no fever for 24 hours without taking ibuprofen or Tylenol, and you're feeling better, then it's safe to leave your home.
She says at that point, it's reasonable to assume you had something other than COVID, but that we really don't want to be spreading around any disease, so staying home when you're sick or unsure and wearing a mask as you're recovering will help.
And to give you an idea of how prevalent COVID still is in our community, the Oregon Health Authority estimates that 1% of Oregonians are walking around with COVID. That's 1 out of every 100 people. And because so many people are testing at home and not necessarily reporting positive test results, OHA believes that the state's case counts could actually be 10 times lower than reality. Reporting in Beaverton, Audrey WEIL, Fox 12 Oregon.